So good evening to all. A warm welcome to our Edvishan online workshop on encouraging research at the school level. Today, we have the distinct honor of having Dr. Anjum Qureshi, a core team member of Edvishan, as our workshop facilitator. But before we dive into the heart of this workshop, I would like to take a moment to share a few words about the importance of fostering a culture of research in our schools. Research is the cornerstone of progress. It fuels innovation, deepens our understanding, and leads to new discoveries. It's not limited to the realm of universities and laboratories. Research can and should thrive within the walls of our schools. Dr. Anjum Qureshi, an esteemed educator and a dedicated member of our Edvishan team, understands this better than most. She embodies the spirit of inquiry and is committed to nurturing it in the next generation. Her expertise and passion for research in education are a valuable asset to this workshop. At Edvishan, we are committed to fostering research and development through every means possible. One significant contribution we make is by providing internships that allow students to gain real-world research experience. These internships can be the spark that ignites a lifelong passion for inquiry and exploration. As the founder and CEO of Edvishan, I believe that research is a powerful catalyst for change, and it begins with the educators, students, and institutions willing to embark on this journey. So, without further ado, let's start this workshop with an open mind and a thirst for knowledge. Dr. Anjum Qureshi will guide us through the intricacies of encouraging research at the school level. I encourage you all to actively participate, ask, question, and absorb as much as you can. So now let's welcome Dr. Qureshi. The virtual stage is all yours, and we eagerly await your wisdom and insights. Thank you all, and let's the workshop begin.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. I welcome everyone for this workshop where we will be talking about research. Now, because I like this topic very much. When I said that I have to present something, so I selected speaking on research because this is what we have been doing nearly every day. In fact, not just because I am a professor in engineering college, but we never know, we never realize sometimes that we have been doing research every day around. The only thing that we have to do is sometimes, we have to just realize the meaning of research. So before starting, I would just like to know from all those who have joined, what according to you is research? When you see this word, well, today we will be speaking on how you can be encouraging research at the school level. But before that, I would just like any one of you to speak about what according to you is research. Yes, anyone? Yeah, I can see some of the answers coming in. Research means creation or introducing new things. Yes, that's really a very good answer. Yeah, any more?
Research at good evening, ma'am. Research at school level mean like whatever concepts the students are learning, they are finding more ways, innovative ways of applying that knowledge and what has been previously done. and what can they further find out could happen with their concept they have learned, whether it is science or mathematics.
Yes, yes, of course. And yes, anyone else who would like to speak, like what is, according to you, is research? Yes, a detailed study about something. Yes, of course, it is. Yes, of course. Yeah. If you see many people, you will be having different, answers. Yes, Mohammed Misbah Qureshi says it is depth knowledge about the subject leads to research, improves practices, and develops understanding. Yes, of course, that is again a very good answer. Yeah, of course, research. Here I would like to start with a quote. Research is to see what everybody else has seen and think what nobody else has thought. Because research, if you see this word research over here, it consists of two words. It is re and search. Where we are searching that has already been searched, where the people have already studied about that, where the people have already known about that. So that is research. So yes, it sometimes people think that it is just finding something new. But what I believe is research is finding something new that already existed around, where we are trying to develop it, where we are trying to improve it. So that is called actually as research. Then coming to the next part of it. So yes, what is research if we talk? Yes, it is carefully analyzing the problems. Because whenever we start with the research, before that we have to analyze a problem. Problem is not the problems analyze, we can say, but analyzing in research we call it as problem statement. Problem statement means that when you select a topic, you try to find out how what are the drawbacks that you're seeing in this. Someone has done a particular work, and what all are the
Please put your mic on mute.
please.
I am requesting everybody, please put your mic on mute.
Yeah, please just mute yourself. I think there are people on the waiting room. I will just, yeah, I will again start my screen. Yeah. So research is carefully analyzing the problem. So when we start with the research, of course, it starts with some kind of survey, some small kind of survey, in which you have to understand like, oh, what should be your topic for research. So, and research, it is not that it should be only done in medical or engineering field, because the people think that, okay, in medical and engineering, you can be doing research, but you can be doing research in any field that you want. In fact, nowadays, what is happening is we can think of just a single way to do research. Like in everyday life, if you see, like yesterday, just we had a session with someone. So that is a software company that is making softwares for healthcare companies. So healthcare, and here we are using the softwares. So this is what how the research is going on. It is not limited to any particular field, but here everywhere, you just have to look around. And when you're doing research, it is, sometimes people think that it should be very high level. You have to think only of like the latest technologies, but it does not require that. You just have to see what is happening around you and how you can solve that problem. You just, need to identify your topic, and the topic should be such that uh, it should be backed up with relevant questions to answers. And of course, you select the topics with observations, then finding, research, hypothesis, and also that is a little bit, a high level things we can say. But yes, when we are trying to do a research, so it will be like to gain familiarity with the phenomenon, or to um, have new insights into it. And when we are trying to focus on any individual or a situation, we should be able to, bring up the characteristics of it, the qualities of it, the significance, advantages, disadvantages, whatever we want. And here, when we are trying to study something, like what is the frequency of occurrence and how it is related to, and then we come with like deriving the causal relationships, and then we should be doing planning. And most important thing that what I believe is that when we are doing research, it should contribute to the development of the nation, or it should be acceptable by everyone. It shouldn't be such that I just made a survey and I made a survey, I did something, I wrote a report and kept it, and after that it is locked either in my laptop or either in my shelf. So that doesn't, that should not happen. So when we are doing research, it should come in front of the people, and it should be beneficial for each and everyone. Now, these are the different types of research. I won't go into detail of it because I know we are trying to talk about how we are going to encourage children, the school children especially, for research. Because what everyone believes is research is when, that is being done when you are at the post graduation level or when you are doing PhD. That is not required. Well, if you see very closely, if you study the points given in NEP 2020, so even it talks about a lot many things where research can be encouraged. Well, these are the different types of researches that we can say: that descriptive research, analytical research, applied research, fundamental research, quantitative research, qualitative research, and empirical research. I won't go into detail of this. Well, yes. Well, those are the different types we can say. Well, still, if you see the research method, this I was talking about the different types of research because it depends upon how you are carrying your study. Yes, research is nothing but, as some of you answered, yes, it is carrying out a detailed study. It's carrying out a detailed study of what you have been doing, or what you want to study, right? So here, yeah. So it will depend upon the kind of research that you're doing. Like if you're doing some kind of data analysis, then it is an analytical research. Or if the research that you have done, you are trying to do something. Like for example, I have developed a software and I am using that software for security of banks, or I am using that software for a healthcare professional, then it becomes an applied research. So this is how the research goes on. Then research method, it is basically classified as quantitative and qualitative. So in the next slide, I will just speak about what is qualitative and quantitative. Yes, qualitative research. Qualitative research is where we can have one-to-one interview, because yes, we can see it is something like survey that goes on. We have seen many times the people come to us, and nowadays even in the social media, the people are even using the social media where they just put a message, they put a questionnaire, and we need to answer that. So yes, that can be a one-to-one interview, or sometimes you can just focus on a group. For example, if I want to do a research like how many the youngsters today, how many percentage of youngsters are using their mobile or using their social media for more than 10 hours a day. So if this is something which I identify, so there either I can have one-to-one interview, or so that is actually the focus group. So where I am concentrating. And after that, when we select a group, so we can have it online, we can have it through Google, nowadays even Google Form. Through Google Form we can have a lot of information, and even other types of forms that we can live, or we can talk one to the people and try to know about them. So this, and then after when we do that, you know uh, when we gather all the data, then we can go on with coming up with our assumptions, coming up with our own solutions for that. So this is how it goes on. And yes, of course, case studies there most of the times. Well, we have seen, well, this case study, if you see, again, when we are talking, especially with respect to children, it is no, we can be giving them case studies. Just give them a small case study, and then you can see. And when you are giving this kind of subjects for children, so my suggestion will be that, wait now, someone is there again in the waiting room. Okay. So when we are giving a case study, or when we are trying to give some type of topic, or when we like even in the quantitative research methods, if you see there's a survey research or descriptive research or correlational research, any kind of research, whether it is qualitative, quantitative, any kind of research that you think that you must be doing for the students. So try to select a topic in which they are comfortable. That is more important. In fact, you should make them ready for it. And how to make them ready for it, that's what we will be seeing in the next slide. Yeah. So firstly, the very first thing that we need to understand, and what even I said earlier, is that we have to see how research is having an impact on our daily life. Well, the best example I can say is the technology that we are having. Like the life that we are enjoying. It is so comfortable. It is so comfortable. Like few years ago, I think we couldn't even imagine that there would be a platform like Zoom in which we people from different parts of the globe will be joining together, and we will be interacting with each other, and we will be sharing knowledge with each other. So this is all how the technology has been developed. In fact, even if we see, like earlier, we have heard that the people used to walk long distances, but nowadays, many people, especially living in cities, we can't imagine, like if you want to go anywhere, some 4, 5 kilometers and all, we can't imagine it without a vehicle. We will be using some kind of vehicle and all. So this is all where why it has happened. It is due to the research that the people have made. I'm audible now properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Sonali? Yeah, no, because someone has put a message that not audible.
Uh-huh. I think she
So,
has problem with her setup or
okay,
something.
okay. So, the life that we are enjoying today, that is the best example of research that people have done throughout. And this research, it is not limited to age. In fact, if we see, there are a number of people. In fact, there are a number of people, a number of children who have come up with innovations. In fact, there are a number of people, they are not educated, but they have come up with some kind of innovation, some kind of new product that will be beneficial for the people. So research, it is the best and reliable way. And through this, actually, when we are doing the research, it helps in understanding the problems and issues. Like I started with, when you start with a research, the first step is to identify the problem statement. Because once you identify the problem statement, only after that you will find solutions for it. Yes, to research is to try to understand what is going around you. And here on the screen, you can see one more quote. Aside from the pure pursuit of knowledge for its own sake, research is linked to problem solving. It is a quote by John Armstrong, a respected global higher education and research professional, right, for the conversation. So yes, of course, it is where you identify the problems and start finding solutions for it. Then why? As I said, we have to encourage the students to research. But before that, we need to understand why we should encourage the students. Firstly, it will enhance the knowledge. Like, take any topic. Like when I started during my PG days, when I started studying a topic like Internet of Things. So when I started studying, when I wanted to do research on that, I had to study a lot. I had to study a lot. And with that, my knowledge in that area started improving. Similarly, any topic or any area that you are trying to go ahead. So yes, of course, firstly, your knowledge regarding that subject will improve. And when the knowledge improves, of course, the the confusions, the queries that you have, yes, there will be queries that arise, and it will get solved. So you will be having, your mind, the confusions that you have, it will start uh, getting removed. Whereas when the queries are solved, when the queries are solved, then you will be having a better understanding of the subject. When you understand the subject, you try to learn about methods and issues. And when we understand this, then comes the next step where you understand the published work. By understanding the published work here, I mean that it can be in the form of a paper, it can be you can be getting something from a book. So when we know a subject very well, when we have a proper knowledge of that subject, so any other source that you are trying to find out to gain more knowledge about it, only then you will understand. And yes, uh, with this, it also helps to create a balance between collaborative and individual work. Because research, yes, you doing individually, but always working alone, it's not possible for us. Working alone is not possible because when you are working, let it be any field that you're working, you have to come in contact with the people, you have to interact with the people, and that is why I have written like collaborative, because you have to reach out to people to discuss more, to learn more about the topic. So this is where we can say we need to create the balance. Now, this is something the essential life skills. So these are the skills that where we as educators can help the children to develop. Yes, not just help, but we are helping. And sometimes we never know because the different kind of activities. Yes, I have been seeing nowadays, when I listen to the educators from different parts of the country, how they have been working so much, so diligently. They have been working so hard to improve the skills of the student. Like first one, if we see, well, I will come to the first skill that I have written. Communication, I will come later on. But yes, of course, creative thinking. Creative thinking, it is not just creativity, but it is trying to find something new or develop a new method. And yes, of course, that is one of the important steps of research. That what I said in the very first slide, research. So yes, creative thinking. Well, there are a number of solutions that are available to you. People have worked on it. Like if you see, if we just see any kind of topic, like a very simple problem, if you see, like in the hospitals, we must have seen that when someone is very ill, so the doctor gives that IV saline. So it is administered to the patient. So I will just give an example that I just about it, the kind of research people have been doing to it. So what happens is that when that IV is given to the patient, we have to carefully look at it that it does not get finished completely. Because if it gets finished completely and they don't remove it, the blood starts returning to it. You must have seen this, or you must have at least known about it. So this is where a group identified, okay, this is a problem. See, this is something which we have, we have seen or we have heard very commonly, but we never thought of it. So what those students did is they used IoT for it, in which they kept a sensor in the saline bottle. So that saline bottle, they had two levels, they had level indicators for it. And when the level starts decreasing, so there is a beep or just a small signal, a small sound which comes. And along with that, when it is completely, it comes near the end, immediately the nurse or the caretaker will get a notification for it. So see, this is a problem which we have been saying for many years. So here, what creative thinking when I say, yes, that is where they try to find out an innovative method, a new method to solve the same problem. Then critical thinking is where we try to think about it. Means it is not just thinking in one way or thinking in a positive way, but here we try to evaluate like what are all the different methods available to solve a given problem. And along with that, we are not thinking of it only on a positive way, where with critical thinking is when we think rationally. We think about both the positive and the negative aspects. So that is critical thinking. Then problem solving. Yes, of course. The first step where we start with it, problem statement. When we identify the problem statement, there it starts our research, right? So you suppose problem solving, this is a quality, this is a life skill that should be developed among the students if you want them to go for research. After that, decision making, because when we are trying to do a research or like I talked about problem solving, so when we try to solve a problem, there will be different methods that are available. Like critical thinking helps you to evaluate it. But the decision making is where, Emma, after evaluation, after thinking that how this is going to be better, or if this is like most of the times when we see, like for example, if I want to buy a phone, so I will see that, okay, this camera is very good, but it is very costly. It is out of my budget. So this is where, where we make decisions. So yes, decision making is equally important in research because among all the possible solutions, we have to select only one. We can't be having for any problem, we can't say that these are the available solutions. No, then we have to, select any one of them. So that is decision making. And of course, time management. Because when we are doing research, we have to be time bounded. We have to take care of time also. Because nowadays, the technology is advancing at such fast rate. Because if we don't maintain the deadlines, if we don't have time management qualities, then we can't be achieving our goal on time. We can't be finishing our research on time. And now I come back to the first point that is returned, that is communication. Yes, of course, communication skill is required because we know that communication is reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Because when we do some kind of research, for example, the student comes up with some device and he says that, okay, ma'am, this is a unique kind of dustbin. It can separate the materials, it can separate the plastic, it will not allow plastic to go into it. There is a sensor that if you try to put any plastic material, it won't allow. Suppose a student comes, he makes any such kind of dust and just uh, places some sensor. So when he does this innovation, how he is going to explain it? There comes the communication skill, where he's able to speak about it, where he is able to present it in front of the people, and if required, try to present it through the medium of research papers or writing an article on it, so that more and more people will know about it. Because communication skills here, if you say, speaking about it, writing about it, so this is required so that you are able to reach more and more people through our research. So in the class, if you see the activities that we are having, the different kind of activities that we are having, when in the school level, when they're very small, we can see like we have them like to identify the colors or just give them papers and build up something new with that. We just give some colored papers and you say that, okay, make whatever you want with this. So these are, some of the activities that we do every day in the class. And I think that we never know. Sometimes we teachers never realize that we are trying to develop all these skills among the students. And these skills are going to help our students in doing some kind of research. In fact, every time when we do an activity in the class, so just encourage the students, encourage each and every student to take part. You never know how these qualities that you are generating among the students, it is going to make them great researchers in the future. Well, if we talk about research skills, especially research skills, yes, as I said, it will start from here, presenting research. So here is where communication comes from, where the children or the students should be able to say about their project, should be able to tell about their project or innovations to the people. So that is presenting research, interpreting data, and organizing data. If you see here, yes, this is where, nowadays we say that we work so much on data. So of course, like, even if it is a small research, like for example, if you tell the students, if you want to work, suppose you choose to work on something like water conservation or save water, so you can do a very simple thing. Just tell them that, okay, if you just go and visit a few houses in your locality and find out how many of them have taps that are leaking at their room. So this can be done by the school student. They can easily do it. They can easily do it. So here, when they collect the data, so this is how, when they are interpreting the data, and once they collect, they should know how to organize it in the pattern that is actually required for research. And then recording the data means either you can record it digitally or you can record it manually, and then collecting the data. After that, when you do, the next steps comes is planning, then observing and formulating questions for it. Because when you uh, start with the first step, that's problem statement. So there should be, many questions when we write the objectives that are actually many questions that start arising. For example, when I said that if you can give a topic to the students, like to have a survey of how many houses are having leaking taps. So here, then they start with it, they try to understand, okay, so this many taps are leaking, so how much water is wasted every day? If from a single tap throughout the day, if some some 5 buckets of water is getting wasted, so in the whole locality, when I made a survey of houses and I found that 10 houses are having such taps, so how much water is being wasted every day? So there, when we do any such kind of activity, we their mind starts thinking about it, and then the formulating the questions. And once they understand this, the next step is they will try to do, so what should we do with this? Because so much of water is wasted. We say that we don't have water, we have scarcity of water, but due to our negligence, the water is getting wasted. So here they start, realizing it. So this is where we can say the research skills that keep on working. So when we are talking about encouraging the students, so before that, I think when we are educators, we should have interest in research. We should have interest in learning new things. And only after that, we can encourage our students to learn something new, to have more knowledge, to or have more research. So, yes, encouraging teachers to become researchers. This is going to be very helpful. Of course, it can be through a lesson study, a proof, or means it is obviously it is sometimes considered to be a proven way to impact the student outcomes. Then the next thing is that the teachers should be supported for research. if the teachers want to take part in any kind of research, because yes, for in colleges, in the universities, it is important for the teachers to have research papers to present at least one research paper in every session, and so in every academic year, and sometimes even going for patents or having research proposals. But similarly, if we are working at the school, so if even if in the curriculum it's not important, but the teachers should be encouraged. And when the teachers want to do some kind of research, or when teachers want to do some kind of detailed studies, they should be also getting support. Because whenever we want to do any kind of detailed study, or when we want to do some kind of experiments, the people fail to do so because they don't get the required facilities. They don't get the required facilities. Like, for example, if I want to work on a software, so obviously I will need a laptop, not just a laptop, but I need the software to be installed in the laptop. So not only encouraging them for research, but in fact, all the necessary requirements, all the basic requirements should be made available to the teachers so that they can be using it. And then teachers should keep themselves updated. They should be knowing about the new methods, the new studies that are going on. And the next thing, and the teachers, well, yes, this is how the teachers can be encouraged to do research. But yes, more than that, the teachers can use new methods, because when someone is doing a research, it is not that he or she should bring the research, but that research should come out to the people. And if the teacher is doing some kind of study, so or some kind of survey or some kind of detailed study, case study, which we generally call as research, so that should be coming in front of the people, coming in front of the students, coming in front of the school authorities. And if you want to explain, especially to the students of school, then I think you can be using a video. And when you start presenting it in front of the people, the best thing that we have over here is, because, yes, here I can see someone has said smart classes will help students in learning new things. Yes, of course. Smart classes is required, and because smart classes are required, because there we can be using technology over there. We can be using audio, video, and make our lesson plans very interesting. And yes, I can see someone saying that people who are active listeners are well regarded by their co-workers because of their attention. Yes, of course, active listening is very important. Even in research, if you see, active listening is very important, because as I said earlier, when you are doing a research, you have to communicate with the people, and because you have to study up the subject, because everything is not available on Google, everything is not available in the books, but sometimes the experience that a person has in that field, that speaks a lot. Yes, active listeners are very important. And yes, growth mindset. And just going through some of the comments, I can see many comments coming in. That's really good. Thank you very much. Yes, and as I think Mr. Ali says, every invention is from the curiosity. Yes, of course, I will come to it. Even I will come into it, because yes, curiosity. When the students are they're very curious when they ask questions, because yes, of course, we can see small kids, they will generally ask, what is this? What is that? Who is this? Yes, this is the curiosity. And we as educators, we have a great responsibility in uh, uh, answering their curiosity, but also generating curiosity in them, because let them allow to learn more and more generate interest in them to learn more and more new things. So when there is curiosity, of course, they will learn something new. And of course, yes, learning new things is again research. And yes, of course, like I can see someone saying, Aditi says that there should be such environment where teachers are encouraged when they want to research on the subject so that become more and more perfect in imparting their knowledge to students. Yes, of course, ma'am. Yes, of course, Aditi, ma'am. That is really what you said. We should be, and even I said in the middle of my presentation that when a teacher wants to do some research, the facility should be available. The facility should be available because most of the time what happens is we have something in our mind, but we are not able to do it just because we don't have that facility. Like even I gave an example, like if I need a software, yes, I should have a laptop, I should have the software installed in it. Yeah. So yes, so teachers, if the teachers understand the research, if the teachers understand the importance of research, so they can surely, they can certainly help the students to, go for research. So moving to next. Okay. So generating interest in the research. Yeah. So when it can be like we can tell the students to make some posters over it, because of course the students like some kind of, many students like painting something or just doing some kind of artwork. So we can be giving them a topic and they can make very beautiful posters of it, out of it. And not just making it, we should be making a display of the posters and like let them speak about it. And when we are doing this, what I suggest is, it is not that you just say, okay, you make this, Mr. So and so, this you have to make this poster. Don't limit them. Give them a topic and let them search and let them make. Because if we limit them, like I have been to some, sometimes I have been to science exhibition as a jury member. So I see that the teachers make something, very good and they keep it, and then they want this that they should win. So I once I was there and I asked that boy, just I asked a simple component, because I am from engineering background, so we are, very attached to these components. We know each and every component. So I just asked that component and he couldn't answer. He gave a very excellent presentation that, okay, ma'am, this is my this will go from here and all. He demonstrated very nicely. So I said, what is this? What is it called? And he could not answer. And I could understand that. Well, with the project, it was very beautiful, very beautiful. But I could understand that a seventh standard boy cannot be doing it, because that project that was being presented by the student, it was being it required programming. It required, programming and some kind of Java. At least Java is required. And of course, a person. Yes, I can see one more message. We can't relate students with their real life. Yeah, we can't relate students with their real life. We can connect them by giving example to their real life problems. Yes, of course. We have to connect them always. We have to connect them to the real life problems. Uh, what is happening all around. Yes, that's a very good suggestion. And then I can see one more message coming in. It's really good to, when I am seeing messages coming in. So, yes, someone says that I think that research is more effective when children are free to express themselves. When they are forced to behave in a proper manner, they never express themselves freely. Yes, of course. Of course, I agree with it. And I was speaking on the same thing. So thank you very much for your feedback. So yes, of course. When we like tell the students, okay, this is something that you have to work upon. Don't give them the limitation. Okay, you have to make this. If this is a pen, if this is the pen that I'm having, it should be made this way only. No, let him try. Let him try what he wants, and only there their minds will get activated. And not just in schools, that you should be encouraging the students to go for outreach events. Outreach events means where we go to other institutes. It can be inter-school level or district level, block level, zonal level, whatever it is, any kind of level. Uh, And yes, of course, Tanveer Fatima, yes, of course, positive attitude. Yes, it is very important to encourage, to generate interest for research among the students. So, you should encourage the students, like if we are having a small thing like just presenting a poster over it or making a model over it. So what I would like to say is we teachers should never force them to present what we want. This is sometimes we do, and because of this trend that has been followed in our country, sometimes I feel that this is where the curiosity among the students, the thinking capability of the students doesn't get developed. And when a student comes with an assignment or when the student comes with a project, we should, before evaluating that, we should think that, okay, this is a 5-year-old boy or this is a 10-year-old boy. You should just think for a while if this is really possible for him. Well, um, that nothing is impossible in this world. I agree to that. But still, every age, it has its own thinking capabilities, the level of work that can be done. Because sometimes what the parents do is they will make it something very beautiful, and the teacher gives very good marks to it. And the same age kid, because we know that he can't be, doing so beautifully. That's like the same thing. He cannot make it in such a perfect way, and then they get less marks, so they get discouraged. And then, so I think so where this trend has come up, where the teachers, they want to win the science exhibition. This, yes, Indrani says that questions are only the ways to come up with brilliant answers. Yes, of course, questions. The children should be curious. They should have questions in their life. Yeah. Coming to back, what I was thinking is, we teachers, as educators, we should be forcing the students. And when we have such competitions, like we can be having model exhibition or poster presentation or any other kind of such activities, so we should just set them free. When we are sending them to other schools or other institutions to participate, we should not think that there should be a very good model with the latest technology so that we want to win. No, let the children decide for them what they want to work on. Yes. So if we encourage students in that way, of course, they will love to work. Otherwise, when we force on them, no, that interest will never be generated. And because this is somewhere the reason, because we see that there is a trend, like the people don't want to work, they will just try to get something ready-made. Okay, you do it for me, I will just pay. And so many resource labs and all are coming up, not lab I must say, but this has become a business nowadays. So right from the childhood, if we encourage the students to work, and as teachers we have to be very patient about it, because every child has a different way to think. Not just every child, every person. If we just give a topic, we know that like if we are nearly here in the meeting, if we are nearly some 40 people in all, 53 I can see, we are 53 people. So if we talk, if we just take a topic, we 53 people will think in 53 different ways. So it might be that the method that has been developed by a student or adopted by a student, it is not acceptable by you, but you should try to understand that. And you have to encourage. If the students are making some mistake, so we have to be very patient. We have to tell them, okay, what is good and what is bad for them. Yes. So here comes the tips. This is actually which we have already come over it when the people were interacting, when I could see messages from you. You suppose encourage curiosity. We have to encourage, because if we are not curious to learn something new, how can we start the research? No, we can never. And yes, I can see one more message that there should be some motivation for parents to not judge their one on the basis of their marks, because the most crucial problem is Parents forcing their child to score marks rather than learning and enhancing their knowledge. Yes, very good. Yes, I agree with you, Aditi. Yes, of course. We are in this race, in this race of only getting marks or only scoring more marks. We are sometimes preventing this their the cycle of learning. Let them live. Let them learn. Let them learn more and more. And one more message here I can see from Tanvir Fatima. She says that three things a teacher should adapt for overall development of a child: explore and engage and encourage. Of course, yes, this is a very good thought. Thank you, Tanvir. Yes, of course. Allow the children to explore, get them engaged in that thing, and encourage them. Because yes, when we are doing research, it always happens, because like whenever we submit a research plan, so we always write that okay, if this is not achieved, then we are going to repeat it, or we are going to repeat the steps. That's what we write in the algorithm. So yes, so it is not always that when you start with the research, with the very first time I try a method, it is going to be successful. It does not happen. We have to face failures, and somewhere here we can see that the facing of failures, it should be also inculcated among the students. And facing failures, we can say, or facing rejections, because when we go when we are presenting our innovation in front of the people, so might be that the other person may not like it. We think that okay, I have done, because I do it, so I feel that I have done something new, but the person standing in front of me might not like this. So yes, we have to help the students to exercise focus and goal setting, and using the SMART model, where it is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Well, of course, I'm coming to time bound or time management, because yes, students should have the practice of time management, because well, in the school level, it is happening at we can't say so much, but time management is very important, because the work that you are doing, it should be done in a particular time period. It is very important, because if we don't follow that, sometimes we may not even finish our research. If we are not worried about the time and we just procrastinate and we just keep on doing, okay, kal kar lenge, if we of that attitude, so I don't think that most of the times we won't be able to finish, not just on time, we won't be able to finish the research, because we may just leave it at halfway. So how will we finish the research? And help students reading strategies. Reading strategies is very important, because reading helps you to gain knowledge. Whenever you're working on a topic, when you're working on an area, you have to read more and more to get more and more knowledge about that topic. And have students experiment with different note-taking methods. Yes, it is not just reading, but to take notes, whatever is important for you, because when most of the times it happens is that if you try to cover a topic, well, you start reading about it, it might be that article that you're reading, it is about some 2000, 3000 words, but that 2000, 3000 words is not is applicable for you, or it's not that important for you, but in that article of 3000 words, some two lines are important for you, that is very related to your research. So you have to understand that, and you have to keep that points with you. So this is where note taking methods, and then use every opportunity to encourage critical thinking. Yes, critical thinking. Every time I say, whenever I use was critical thinking, then the next is cultivate self-awareness. Because when we talk about anything, because when here in research, when we are trying to learn about so many things, but we should know what we want. We should know ourselves. Self-awareness is very much required, because the students should know themselves, they should know what they want, and what they want to do and what they can do and what they can achieve. When this is being done, obviously, what we call like the self-confidence, self-esteem, everything will come automatically to the students, and they will be able to achieve whatever they want. Yes, of course. So it starts with self-awareness. And then you have to offer opportunities to the students to share their findings. Because when they are doing something, when they are trying to come up with something new, we have to encourage the students that they are able to present it in front of the others. Because if we don't allow them to present, uh, they won't be encouraged. They won't be motivated. In fact, they need not just encouragement, but they need motivation also. So when a student has done some assignment or some project and he comes in front of you or he comes in front of the class and he just explains that, okay, this is what I have done. And when the people listen to it carefully, when the people give their feedback over it, so yes, of course, we get motivation, but more than that, sometimes it happens that we are trying to do something, but we are not able to achieve. We started with like, okay, I have to do like I have to make a device in which the leaking of the taps can be avoided. So if I want to have such a device, so might be that I'm not able to achieve that. But when we share this, that okay, this is the work I want to do, but I have reached at this step, but I am not able to achieve my goal. So when we are presenting it, of course, one advantage is that one advantage is that okay, I am telling my research to the people. But the second thing again that always works is that if we are not able to find solutions with it, when we try to present in front of the people, and the people it is not always required that they are very expert in that field. They can think over it. Okay, if you're not able to achieve this target, or you're not able to achieve your research, so this is what you can do. Do change over this. यहाँ पे change कर दो. If you do change over this can. So yes, of course, the students should be allowed to share their findings. And yes, mind mapping, yes, of course, it works. And then again, I see there are examples of great officers who have scored below average in their academics, but managed to excel in their life. Yes, so such examples should be always. Yes, yes, I surely. Because this example should be presented in front of students and parents as well, and this will not demoralize the students. Yes, of course. We should, yes, we should be having such kind of example, because most of the time, yes, of course, there are many who did excel, like they didn't score 90% or above 90 in their 10th interval standard exam, but still they are very successful in whatever career that they have chosen. So I think with this, we come to the end of my presentation. And I guess, yes, yeah, role of teachers. I think I just missed this slide. So yes, well, I have discussed all this point, but of course, so when the students come to us with the research, or when they come with the answers, allow them to present it in front of the class, and not just presenting in front of the class. Nowadays, we have we can share the photos, we can share the videos, or we can record a podcast, or we can make some school magazines, in schools. Sometimes we have school magazine, or we have mall magazine, to share all those activities of the students and with the school, at least at the school level. And if the extent of the research they have, if something remarkable is there and which can be used even for the future research, and it can be used for making up more building, or making up for something even better that can be beneficial for the whole society, then of course we should be encouraging the students. And I said about resource skills, yes, there are a number of resource skills. And and as teachers, if we feel that the research that we are talking about is really very important, then as teachers, we have to encourage, and not just encourage or motivate. Sometimes we have to dedicate our time specifically on improving the research skills of students. So yes, with this, I come to the end of my presentation, and thank you, Shonali ma'am, for giving me an opportunity to speak. Well, I had more things, but I know there is the time bound. And thank you for all the participants who were here, because I can see so many messages, and I hope I'm able to just go through every one of them. If I have left, I have missed any of the message, please don't mind. But yes, yes, and I can see, yes, Aditi is saying that as teacher, we are completely aware of all this thing, but still some of us fail to use it. So it is very important. Yes, of course, Aditi. We all, in fact, not just this, but there are many things we know. हमें पता होता है, लेकिन still we fail to use it. And this is somewhere what we teachers need to develop, so that we can help the students to go for research. And why I talk about researchers, as I said in the very first slide, that research is not just like, कि हमने बहुत कुछ नया बनाया, but it helps the students to learn. That is more important, learning something new. And if we see even in the NEP, creativity and critical thinking, this has been given so much of importance. Even at the higher education level, uh, uh, there are autonomous bodies which are encouraging girls. Like just recently, whenever students submitted their projects for Smart India Hackathon, so there was a condition that in the group there should be at least one female member. So that was again very good thing that I observed, that yes, in the females are encouraged for research. So thank you very much, ma'am. If I have time, I will just go on speaking. But thank you very much. I just end over here. If any questions, please answer.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a wonderful session. Very insightful. And thank you, all the participants. We get a very good response, actually, throughout the session. The comments keep coming in. And if anybody wants to ask anything or share your feedback, you can unmute and share your views. If anyone
Hello.
wants.
Yes. Yes.
Madam, good evening. I'm Balamohan from Bangalore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Madam, you have the sequence of classes, like a series of classes to enrich the research skill from the childhood itself. There is any special program or any course are you handling?
I didn't get your question. Can you repeat it?
Hello, madam. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, madam. Madam, today's session was very excellent, madam. Very good.
Okay.
Madam, what I am asking for the children and those who are all from 6th, 7th onwards, how can we make the curiosity level or the incubation level regarding to the research field, madam? Regarding this, do you have any course? So how to inculcate
Yes, sir.
the
Yes, and now I got your question. Still,
yeah.
actually, there are workshops that we can take for students that I talk about the skills, the critical thinking, creative thinking, problem solving. So there are small courses that are designed for the students. And if we just take up some activities of them, like if we give them a problem, like for example, if I just ask them a question, okay, that you are just left out in a forest, you have lost your mobile, so what will you do? So they will start thinking about it. If I just keep a bottle in front of them, and if you say like bottle, we know that we use it for putting some water and storing it. So what are the different methods to use this bottle? So we have such some workshops. There are small workshops which help the students to enhance this.
Yeah, as
Yeah, madam. Madam.
I want to give some information, sir. At Edvishan, we are having some online short courses that kindly mute yourself, please. Dr. Qureshi ma'am, please. We have some online courses based on different kind of skills development. If you visit our website www.edvishan.com, you can find variety of online. These are self-paced courses, and also we conduct frequent workshops based on these kind of courses. If you particularly feel that for your institution and for your students, some customized course or workshop is required, you can contact us. We regularly conduct such kind of workshop, and also self-paced courses are available. This kind of skill training courses you can find in our website.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Any queries, any feedback? And the feedback
Madam.
form we will share in our group, in our Edvishan training group. We have 2-3 groups. We will share the feedback form. And in the feedback form, you can mention about the topics you want to have workshop like this.
Yeah, you were saying something, Mr. Vijay.
Yes, sir. Yes, tell me, sir.
Yeah, you were asking something.
That
Yes, sir.
is
Yes,
what
sir.
I mentioned. You can personally discuss the thing with us,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Edvishan, and also you can visit our website regarding the training and courses.
Yes, sir. My kind request to the entire team, kindly share the future developments, future follow-ups to those who are all participating today's webinar. So kindly share the future developments and the future what we are going to do, how we assist with you, how we get your valuable sessions or courses to our children. So it will be very good for our future development, sir.
Yeah,
Sure.
for sure.
You provide in your suggestion or remarks in the feedback form, whatever is your requirements. In the feedback form, you share in suggestions, remarks. I'm asking everybody if you want short courses or workshops in future, like ma'am also can take on that topics, which she is an expert. And we have
सब्जी रेस्ट दें
so whatever is your requirement, you can put up that in the feedback form. Accordingly, we will arrange workshops or training sessions or discuss further. And the feedback form will be shared in the Edvishan training group. And this time we got very good response throughout the session. So thank you, everybody. And thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
We
thank
can
you.
conclude the call. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, let us
Yeah.
conclude
Thank
for
you, Anjum
tonight.
ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for your lovely response today.
Thank you all.